Park Jimin's name once again echoed across headlines and social media timelines as January 2026 opened with a familiar yet astonishing declaration from Korean entertainment media. He had topped the monthly brand reputation rankings and earned the title King of Brand Ranking. The announcement, released through the Korean Business Research Institute's widely watched report, immediately ignited conversation among fans, industry insiders, and marketing analysts alike, all eager to unpack how the BTS star continues to dominate public awareness year after year. From early morning in Seoul to late-night scrolling sessions across the globe, Jimin's ranking trended rapidly on X, Weibo, TikTok, and fan community platforms, where ARMY celebrated the achievement as both a personal victory for the artist and another milestone in BTS's cultural legacy. Screenshots of charts circulated alongside congratulatory posts, while Korean news outlets highlighted how the ranking reflected not just musical activity, but the total weight of his presence in advertising, media coverage, and online engagement throughout the month. Industry observers were quick to point out that the Brand Reputation Index is built on massive volumes of data, tracking consumer interest, communication patterns, and public sentiment, which makes Jimin's repeated appearances at the top especially notable. Even during periods without heavy promotional schedules, his name continues to generate discussion, proving that his influence stretches far beyond album cycles or stage performances. For marketing executives, the January results reinforced why global luxury houses, fashion labels, and lifestyle brands remain eager to associate themselves with him. His visibility translates directly into conversation, clicks, and consumer curiosity. What made the January 2026 ranking feel particularly symbolic was the growing narrative around Jimin's long-term dominance. Korean commentators framed the moment not as a surprise upset, but as the latest chapter in a pattern that has unfolded over several years, with the singer consistently hovering near or at the very top of reputation charts. The affectionate moniker King of Brand Ranking, first coined by fans and later adopted by media headlines, now reads less like hyperbole and more like shorthand for a record of sustained relevance in one of the world's most competitive pop industries. Fans, meanwhile, connected the achievement to Jimin's broader artistic journey. In online essays and translated threads, they traced how his evolution from a standout performer in BTS to a globally recognized solo artist and fashion icon has steadily expanded his reach. Many argued that what sets him apart is not just star power, but a rare blend of musical credibility, emotional connection with audiences, and a carefully curated public image that still feels personal. January's ranking became another data point in a story they have been telling for years, that Jimin's appeal crosses borders, languages, and demographics. As international outlets picked up the news, the discussion widened beyond K-pop fandom circles into business and culture sections, where writers examined how idols like Jimin have reshaped the meaning of celebrity branding in the digital age. His ability to command attention across platforms was framed as a case study in modern stardom, where artistry, authenticity, and constant online presence merge into a powerful global brand. Analysts speculated that the January title would only strengthen his negotiating power with future partners and solidify his position as one of South Korea's most valuable cultural exports. By the end of the day, congratulatory banners had appeared on fan-funded digital billboards. Hashtags celebrating the ranking continued to trend, and the phrase "King of Brand Ranking" had become one of the most repeated lines in entertainment news recaps of the week. For Jimin, January 2026 did not just begin with another trophy-like statistic, it opened with renewed proof that his name alone still carries extraordinary weight in the public imagination, and that his reign at the center of global pop culture shows no sign of slowing down. Behind the celebratory headlines, insiders suggested that Jimin's January triumph was also fueled by a quiet but steady stream of visibility in the weeks leading up to the ranking period. Even without a major televised comeback, his appearances in magazine features, luxury brand campaigns, and behind-the-scenes content shared through official BTS channels continued to ripple outward across the internet. Every new photo spread sparked waves of reposts, while brief updates from the artist were dissected and translated into dozens of languages within minutes, illustrating how even the smallest glimpse of Jimin can dominate attention cycles. Cultural critics in Seoul noted that this phenomenon reflects a broader shift in how influence is measured in modern pop culture. Rather than being tied solely to chart positions or award season buzz, star power is now tracked through daily digital footprints, and in that arena, Jimin remains unusually consistent. His calm, thoughtful interview style and carefully chosen public messages often trend just as strongly as high-energy stage performances, suggesting a balance that appeals to both casual listeners and deeply invested fans. January's brand ranking, they argued, captured this full spectrum of engagement, from luxury consumers to teenagers discovering BTS for the first time. International fan communities treated the moment almost like a festival. Streaming parties were organized in celebration, charity drives were launched in Jimin's name, and fan artists flooded timelines with illustrations marking the King of Brand Ranking title. In several major cities, LED trucks and digital billboards funded by supporters appeared near busy intersections, turning a statistical report into a public spectacle. For many fans, these displays were not just about pride, but about reinforcing the idea that Jimin's success is intertwined with a global network of listeners who feel personally connected to his journey. Music industry analysts also looked ahead, speculating about what the January accolade might signal for the rest of 2026. With BTS members gradually reuniting for group activities and solo projects continuing to draw massive attention, Jimin's top placement was seen as a promising indicator of the group's enduring pull. Commentators suggested that any upcoming releases, tours, or collaborations linked to him would likely arrive to an already primed audience, amplified by the renewed spotlight created by the ranking. At the same time, writers emphasized that the title King of Brand Ranking carries symbolic weight beyond numbers. In South Korea's fiercely competitive entertainment scene, maintaining top public recognition month after month is notoriously difficult, as new groups debut constantly and trends shift at breakneck speed. Jimin's ability to remain at the center of conversation was framed as evidence of a rare longevity, one built on years of disciplined artistry, evolving style, and a reputation for professionalism that resonates with both fans and industry partners. As January rolled on, the ranking itself became part of a larger narrative about Jimin's place in contemporary culture. Talk shows referenced it in passing, online commentators used it to debate the changing metrics of fame, and marketing columns cited it as proof of the continued global appetite for Korean pop stars. What began as a data-driven report from a research institute transformed into a cultural moment, reinforcing how a single monthly statistic can ripple outward into discussions about music, fashion, digital influence, and the future of celebrity. In that sense, the January 2026 declaration did more than crown Jimin for another month. It crystallized a pattern that has defined his career in recent years. Each new ranking adds another layer to his public story, shaping how audiences perceive his growth and how the industry measures his value. And as fans and analysts alike looked toward the rest of the year, one conclusion echoed across timelines and headlines alike. Whatever projects Jimin chooses to unveil next, he enters 2026 firmly seated at the top of the conversation, a figure whose brand power remains as magnetic as his performances on stage.